Greetings, my friend! Welcome to the fire. So, have you seen the Amazon Prime series The Boys yet? Wonder how that would work out in a TTRPG game? Well, you're in luck. The Boys game shows just how scary my players are. r/gametales posted by Antonius the Bro. So, in context, I am a forever DM, which is my preferred role among my friends, and I decided to start a game based on the show The Boys, where the characters play soups in Chicago. The system I used was Godbound because it was a really useful system with a large amount of flex, so all I really needed to do was reflavor some stuff. Now, with them being soups in The Boys, I expected some degree of evil depravity, but damn, what they did exceeded my expectations by miles. So, in session 1, everyone does their intros and then they set up and plan. Eventually, they headed off to patrol, and they each take on some attempted muggings. The first and most safe rescue was by a hacking/assassin character who threatens the mugger, and when they didn't comply, they blow out his kneecaps and knocks him unconscious, and then calls the police. So, overall, not really that bad. Maybe a bit excessive, but honestly deserved. The next one was a really innocent/somewhat psycho character with super strength and teleportation, who tries to quietly knock the mugger out, but accidentally kills the man, and doesn't notice. But no worries, Vought will handle it. Now, on to the more effed up shit. The third soup, who was named Equity, had the power to manipulate energy fields, and she finds a mugger and actually stops him with no issue, but then threatens and beats him as she tells him to burn a bit of the world down, and to hunt down somebody who looks truly happy. The player rolls well, so the mugger complies by mugging a family of 2 parents with a young boy who was seemingly quite rich. Now, realizing that she took it too far, she goes in and kills the mugger as she realizes her F up. Yeah, this is pretty much the Batman origin story, or at least that's what my players thought. And the reason that she did all of this was that it was a publicity stunt to try to make her rescue look more flashy. Then there's a character who was a shapeshifter, and a psychic liar who told the party that he'll show them how it's really done. He walks up to a mugger and just tells him, "Hey, you don't want to rob this guy." Using his powers to compel him, he then says, "Why are you even going after the poor for? Rob some rich guy instead." Which the mugger then goes off to do just that. And then the character turns to the person who was being mugged and asks, "So, how much money you got?" Yep, the soup who saves the victim from a mugging just ends up mugging them himself. But like I said before, I had expected this type of evil, so I was not really that shocked, and kinda thought this first session was going well. And then the forever infamous words, "This is too slow, so what do we do now?" And so it begun. The players decided to come up with a plan. A really big plan, and that was to expedite their rise to fame. Well, clearly the only logical thing to do was to start a drug war. I mean, clearly. The way they would accomplish this was by having the shapeshifter turn into a gang leader and try to convince the gang their actual leader was an imposter, get them to shoot the actual leader, and then blame another gang to start the war and rob them blind while at it. Then the characters thought, why just start a war between 1 or 2 gangs when they could go for all of them? I mean, go big or go home, I guess. So, that's what they did. They dragged every single gang and criminal organization in the city into a war. As they robbed them, the hacker made it worse by using their powers to manipulate perception and escalated the whole conflict into a full-blown race war. They then helped the rest of the party distribute military-grade equipment to all the gangs. Within the next day or two, the city had turned into a full-blown war zone and needed federal intervention. But before that actually happened, the party then went into their final phase of their plan, which was they and Vault ended up brutally and totally crushing the criminal element in 2 days. So why did they do this? A plan that they knew fully well that would kill hundreds, potentially even thousands? Well, it was all for the publicity and money, of course. What horrified me even more was that this all happened in the first session. Let this be a warning for when players are given blank checks. It was hilarious, it was ambitious, it was impressive. But most of all, it was horrifying and scary knowing what they could do when they put their minds to it. Underestimate your players at your peril, especially when you're playing in a setting like The Boys, where it's pretty much a free-for-all. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.